Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. It's time for the end of the year awards! And here are your class winners. Roll the music! Happy last day of school, everybody, and I just want to shout out a big congratulations to all of you. Whether you were listed in the awards or not, all of you have done a great job. And you might ask me, why, Mr. Nyson, are you wearing sunglasses? Why are you wearing shades today? And the answer is, because I know how bright all of you have become, and I'm just protecting my eyes. And so, but I still know that some of you are still bitter. And you're bitter because you say, I always get in trouble for stuff I didn't do. And it's like, you know what? That's right. You do get in trouble for stuff you didn't do. You didn't do attendance. You get in trouble. You didn't do your homework. You get in trouble. So make sure you get your attendance taken for both days this week. And we do have one more assignment that you have to do today and get it in the night. And if you have any missing assignments or any late assignments, get those in. And then today, get any textbooks, library books, or things turned in at the school from 10 to 1 today. And so pause the video if you have to right now to get the attendance taken. And we'll be back for your last day of e-learning. Store for our last day of algebra. See, can you tell your brightness is like shining in on me? And so we're going to finish our third day of trigonometry introduction, and we're going to do a lot more of it next year in geometry. So it's very important you know this. I don't really want next year, I didn't do the last assignment and I don't know how to find an angle. And so we're going to use trig. We first taught you what sine, cosine, and tangent meant with our friend SOHCAHTOA. And so we got lots of them. SOHCAHTOA. And so we first did that, and then we showed you on the other day how to find the side using sine, cosine, and tangent. And then today we're going to show you the words above the buttons that have the little negative ones. We're going to use those today. So we're going to use our shift button to get to that. And so every time on problem today, you're going to hit shift, and then you're going to hit sine, cosine, or tangent to find an angle. And so we're going to talk about that. Okay? So on today's notes, this is notes 131. Sounds like a road. And so notes 131, and we're going to review and show you how to do this. So here's the triangle. It's a Pythagorean triple. 8 squared plus 15 squared equals 17 squared. And so this would be the hypotenuse no matter what angle we're at. But sine of A, cosine of A, and tangent of A. And so Elijah, what's sine? Over H, A over H, or over A? Yes, it's over H. What's cosine, Preston? Yeah, A over H. What's tangent, Cole? Over A. Very good. What's sine, Bree? That's an A. Yeah, over H. Cosine, Cam, A over H. Tangent, Erica, over A. And so then it matters where SOHCAHTOA is standing. And so if we're at angle A, SOHCAHTOA is up here. Well, this is going to be the H. But if we're up there at angle A, this leg right here, is that the opposite leg or the adjacent leg, Abby? Yeah, this is the opposite leg. And this would be the adjacent leg. And you're going to have to know which word to use. That's going to be the hardest thing tonight. Sine, cosine, or tangent. And so sine of angle A would be what, Lauren? Yeah, it'd be 15 over 17. What would the cosine of angle A be? Mason? Yeah, 8 over 17. And the tangent of angle A, which is O over A, would be what? Madison? 15 over 8. Very good. Now, those of you that remember all of our shortcuts, we could go from angle B now and not use any shortcuts. And if SOHCAHTOA, well, I wanted a different color. It's kind of hard to see in these glasses. Whoa, kind of hard to see because you're so bright. But if this is angle B, this is still the H, but now, remember, the legs change. So this becomes the opposite leg. And this becomes the next two leg, the adjacent leg. And so then this would be 8 over 17. But then we remember that the sine of angle B equals the cosine of angle A. The cosine of angle B, which would be 15 over 17, equals the sine of angle A. But then a couple of you thought the tangents were equal. That's not true. Dominic, what's the relationship between the tangent answers? Yes, they're reflipicals, multiplicative inverses. And so tangent of angle B is 8 over 15, like that. Now, the thing is, we have the sine of angle A equals 15/17. If we wanted to get A by itself, that is when we use this other word. And so it's not really taken to the -1 power. It just means the inverse operation. And so the inverse sine function is how we call this. We call this the inverse sine. I'd write it because I don't want to write words with the mouse. And so we're going to write inverse sine of 15/17. We're going to write inverse cosine of 8/17. We're going to write inverse tangent of 15/8. I'm just taking them straight across. We're going to write inverse sine of 8/17. We're going to write inverse cosine of 15/17. We're going to write inverse tangent of 8/15. Now, how do I type that in my calculator? Well, you got to hit the shift button or the second button. And Annabelle, make sure your calculator's in degree mode. Otherwise, some of you might have been getting negative answers. You know, -3.2. Well, that's not possible. Error. And so that's true. So make sure the degree button is in degrees. Okay? And so to get to this inverse sine, we hit shift -1. And when you do that, you get sine -1. And you can just hit 15 over 17. You can hit the divide button. And when you hit equals, what's the decimal you get? Oh, I'm in the wrong mode. I just changed it out of degree mode, messing around. So, inverse sine, whoa, that wasn't good, of 15 over 17 should be what? What do you get? Abigail? Yeah, 61.92. So we'll say 61.9. And that's an angle. We use the inverse function to find angles. What is cosine inverse? It's second cosine of 8 over 17. And it should look like that. And what do you notice about that answer? Hannah? Yeah, it's the same answer. Whoa. 61.9 degrees. And then what's tan inverse? Now remember, tan inverse is the only one that you can have the bigger number on top, because sine and cosine, the hypotenuse, is always the biggest number, and it's always on the bottom. So you can never have the biggest number on the bottom on top for sine or cosine. But you can have an improper fraction when you do inverse tangent. And so notice what we get there, Jack? Same answer. Why does that make sense? Whoa. Because what were we finding each time? We were finding angle A. And guess what? Angle A equals the same thing every time because it's angle A. So there's multiple ways to find things. And so there's the straightforward way that you're going to get on your homework. But then as we get into harder problems, you're like, I could go from this angle, I could go from this angle, I could do this, I could do this. And yes, free country. And so hopefully, still. And let's type in the next one. What's sine inverse of 8/17? And so make sure you can type these in. And if you're having trouble, you can always screenshot your calculator and email me, and I will tell you what buttons to push. What do you get for that answer? Rosie. Yes, 28.1. Now, you will notice that all these, if we typed them in, would be 28.1. But you know what? I wouldn't even have had to type in the first one. What do you notice about all the angle A's and all the angle B's? What does angle A plus angle B have to add up to? Joe? Yeah, they have to add up to 90. This plus this, I wanted to change colors. This plus this has to add up to 90. And that's why on the assignment the other night, Aiden, it said find the complement, because complementary angles add up to 90. So angle A plus angle B always add up to 90. And so you can use trig to find it, or you could just take a 90 minus 61.9 and gotten 21.8. And that would have also worked. So here are the problems that your homework's going to be like. You are standing where the letter is. There is SOHCAHTOA. And so let me get my staff so I can teach. And here we go. We'll point where we're going. You can't see. And so, but if we're here, here's the hardest thing, Cody. You got to decide if you have O and H, A and H, and O and A. And so I think I have the odd answers at the bottom again. Dun, 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 dun. And so that will help to make sure, oh yeah, I'm close. I used the right word. Oh no, I didn't use the correct word. But you're going to round your answers to the 10th. So we can't just use those answers, but they will help us. And so if we got this, I don't know if I can get all that exact like that. So we'll start over. Here's my right angle. So here's the hypotenuse. So I know, and you can write his name down. SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. So if I have an H, I either have sine or I have cosine. Now if I'm right here, is this leg the opposite leg, Cody, or is it the adjacent leg? Adjacent means next to. This would be the adjacent leg. So this is the opposite leg. And so I have O and H. So Cody, what word is that? Yeah, it's going to be sine. So I'm going to write sine of angle A. The angle always goes after the word. Equals over H. So it's 4/5. Now to get A by itself, we don't really divide by a word. That's why we use this other symbol. In the old days, we called it arcsine. But now that's really old. Grandpa and Grandma are helping you with your homework and be like, oh, is that arcsine? And so, but we call it inverse sine, and we write sine to the -1. But it's not to the -1 power. And so you can either do inverse sine of 0.8 or you can type in 4/5. It doesn't really matter. And so when we type this in, you can just arrow over the top if you want. And what is inverse sine of 4/5? What would that be? Danielle? Yeah, it'd be 53.1. And so 53.1 degrees. And so make sure I get your textbook. And so 53.1 is angle A. Let's go to this one down here. We're at angle B. Hardest thing is to decide whether we're using sine, cosine, or tangent. Do I have O and H, A and H, or O and A? So Ethan, what would it be? Yeah, this is my H. So my two legs Is this the opposite leg or the adjacent leg? Jack? It'd be the adjacent leg. So what is that if I have an A and H? Yes, it's cosine. So we're going to write cosine of... that looks more like an O, so we'll leave that be an O. Cosine of angle B equals 10 over 12. So to get the B by itself, so we can be a good student, we put the word on the other side and do inverse cosine. And so inverse cosine of 10, 12. So you could do inverse cosine of 5, 6, or you could do inverse cosine of 0.83333333333333. That'd be kind of hard to type in an infinite amount of threes. So hit your shift button, the second button. Now if you have a calculator where you don't see what's written, you do it all backwards. You first type in 10 divided by 12, then you hit equals, and then you hit shift cosine. So if you can't see what you're typing on a calculator, you type the fraction first, then you hit the shift cosine last, and then you will get it. And so second cosine, 10 over 12, and we should get 33.6 degrees. These are all degrees. And you can get your N plus for the last day, except it won't count in the N plus competition because that's over. Now let's look at this one. Here we are at angle C. What would this be, Colin? Tangent, why? Because you don't have an H. Yeah, see, here's Mr. Hypotenuse, and he's not home. So here's my opposite leg, and here's my adjacent leg. And so we're going to do tangent of angle C. Now, it's not always the smaller number on top. That is true with sine and cosine. But with tangent, it's the opposite leg over the adjacent leg. And so if you did C equals tan inverse of 20 over 9. And so just for fun, we could try sine inverse and put the bigger number on top. What do you think the Oompa Loompas are going to have to say about that if you did sine with a bigger number on top? Ah, what are you doing, Mr. Nyson? Now you were all just like, it's like dividing by 0. What are you doing? And so what if we did second cosine and put the bigger number on top? How do you think the Oompa Loompas are going to like that one? It's like the Hornswogglers, Snozwanglers, coming to get us. No. And so, but the Oompa Loompas don't have any problem when you do tangent with the bigger number on top. Because they know it's the opposite leg over the adjacent leg. These guys know. They do a great job wearing those white overalls or green overalls and white shirts. Oompa Loompa, Oompa dee doo. We got a big math problem for you. And so that'd be 65.8 degrees. Okay, and this is good work to show on your homework. Now, for the last one, it says, find all three angles. Well, in real life, they don't just tell you which angle to go from. You could just go, okay, which angle do you want to find first? Whatever one, Jordan. You want to find angle B first? Why not? And what word do you want to use? Sine, cosine, and tangent. You can use any one you want. What word do you want to use? Jacob? Sine? So we'll just say sine of angle B. But because he picked that, now he has to pick the opposite leg and the hypotenuse. So if he picks sine, he has to pick the opposite leg, which is 24, over the hypotenuse of 25. And so here we go. Angle B equals sine inverse, because you got to get the word to the other side, of 24/25. And so sine inverse of 24/25 would give me angle B, and that would be what? Whoa. I'm not telling. You got to type it in. Type it in. Don't just wait on me. What is sine inverse of 24/25? What is it, Elizabeth? I'm not telling. Yes, you're right. 73.7. And so if that's 73.7 degrees, doesn't look 73.7, but that's okay. How do we find angle A? Well, we could use trig, And we could do sine of A is 7 over 25. But what did we say, Joe, that these two angles have to add up to? Yeah, they're complementary. So what does that mean, Ilya? They add up to 90. And so all you have to do is do 90 minus 73.7. And Judo, what is that? Yeah, 16.3. 6. Here at angle A. SOHCAHTOA is here. Do you have O and H, A and H, or O and A? What would it be? Logan, this is my O. This is my A. So I'm going to use tangent for problem 6. Problem 7, you're right here. What word are you going to use? Cody, here's the right angle. Across from the right angle is always the H, so it's either going to be sine or cosine. And then this leg is the A. So Cody, is that sine, cosine, or tangent? If I have AH, yes, this would be cosine. Mr. Nyson, keep going. Do them all. The only no, I'm not doing it. The only thing is some of these are spun around. So like if you're up here at G for problem 12, this is my O and this is my A. So the fraction's actually going to be 24 over 16. The bigger number is not always on the bottom, just most of the time it is. And so on these last ones, you're going to have to draw pictures. And some of you email me and go, I can't draw the picture. I know you didn't watch the video to the end because I'm drawing the picture. Remember the water ones. You draw the water going like this, and your right triangle is upside down. Okay? And so you need to label your triangle like that. Problem 19 has a star because it's really on yesterday's notes. This does not use the sine, cosine, tangent picture. This just uses the regular one. And so this problem is on yesterday notes. It's the first one. So just copy the picture and copy the problem. Problem 20 is easy to draw. You're finding the angle. And 21, hopefully we don't have any big storms. But it says you had a 60-foot pine tree. And then it cracked over. So this part of the pine tree fell over. So it goes up and it fell over. And you hate those because then how do you get up there to cut the tree down? Or you try to pull it or the branch is stuck. Been there and done that. Not fun. Well, if the tree was originally 60 feet tall, now it's 20 feet in the air. How many feet fell over, Lauren? Yeah, 40. Because 20 plus 40 is 60. And what angle do we want to find? Well, this is a right angle because trees usually grow straight up. Not, well, in a storm. And it says, what's the angle did it make with the ground? So this is the angle we want. This is angle A or angle X or whatever. Okay? And so we helped you with those last pictures. Okay? And then this is the last thing. You got to get this done today and sent in to me today. You want to finish strong. And so we're just going to end the year with 2 knock-knock jokes. Knock, knock. Who's there? Noah. Noah, my son? No, Noah. Noah who? Noah more school. Noah more school. It's summer break. But, knock, knock, who's there? Before who? Before you go. And before it's summer, make sure you turn in all your work. Okay? So, we really enjoyed having all of you in class. I know algebra is sometimes the toughest of the 3 years of class. And so it is. And so of all the videos I made, all the mistakes occur on the algebra videos. I just always forget something. But it's been a great year. It's a crazy way to end. And so we really appreciate all you guys getting your work in. And we appreciate all of you. And it's wonderful to get to know you. And so we look forward to seeing you next fall. And hopefully everything will be back to normal. But we'll modify however we have to. Okay? So again, make sure you bring your textbooks to school. I have the list of textbooks. And so it's right here. And some people are not crossed off. And some of you are. I need that stuff. And so, and if you were one of the award winners or you were in math counts and you made it to the state finals, I have things for you. I don't even have them all yet. They're getting shipped to me. But once we do, we'll get in contact with you so we can get you those. And so, thanks for a great year, everybody. Hang in there. Finish strong. Email me. Let me know how it's going. And so, we'll miss all you guys, but we'll see you in the fall. Okay, so let me know. Bye-bye.